Act II of Pippa Passes by Robert Browning. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act II, Noon. Over Arcana. The house of Jewel, which crosses its threshold with Feeny. She is silent, on which Jewel begins.
Do not die, Feeny. I am yours now. You are mine now. Let fate reach me how she likes, if you'll not die. So never die. Sit here, my workroom's single seat. I overlean this length of hair and lustrous front. They turn, like an entire flower, upward. Eyes, lips, last your chin, no, last your throat turns. 'Tis their scent pulls down my face upon you. Nay, look ever this one way till I change, grow you. I could change into you, beloved. You by me, and I by you. This is your hand in mine, and side by side we sit. All's true. Thank God! I have spoken. Speak, you. O my life to come, my Tydeus must be carved. That's there in clay, yet how be carved with you about the chamber? Where must I place you? When I think that once this room, full of rough blockwork, seemed my heaven, without you, shall I ever work again, get fairly into my old ways again, bid each conception stand, while trait by trait my hand transfers its lineaments to stone? Will my mere fancies live near you, my truth, the live truth, passing and repassing me, sitting beside me? Now speak! Only first see all your letters. Was not well contrived? Their hiding place is Psyche's robe. She keeps your letters next her skin. Which drops out foremost? Ah, this that swam down like a first moonbeam into my world. Again those eyes complete their melancholy survey, sweet and slow, of all my room holds, to return and rest on me with pity, yet some wonder too, as if God bade some spirit plague a world, and this were the one moment of surprise and sorrow while she took her station, pausing o'er what she sees, finds good, and must destroy. What gaze you at? Those? Books I told you of? Let your first word to me rejoice them too. This minion, a Colothus, writ in red, Bister and azure by Bessarion's scribe. Read this line. No shame! Homer's be the Greek, first breathed me from the lips of my Greek girl, my Odyssey in coarse black vivid type, with faded yellow blossoms twixt page and page, to mark great places with due gratitude. He said, and on Antinous directed a bitter shaft, a flower blots out the rest. Again upon your search? My statues then. Ah, do not mind that. Better that will look when cast in bronze, an Almain Kaiser, that swart green and gold with truncheon based on hip. This rather turn to. What, unrecognised? I thought you would have seen that here you sit, as I imagined you, Hippolyta, naked upon her bright Numidian horse. Recall you this then? Carve in bold relief. So you commanded. Carve against I come, a Greek in Athens, as our fashion was, feasting, bay filleted and thunder free, who rises neath the lifted myrtle branch. Praise those who slew Hipparchus, cry the guests, while o'er thy head the singer's myrtle waves, as erst above our champions. Stand up all! See, I have laboured to express your thought. Quite round, a cluster of mere hands and arms, thrust in all senses, all ways, from all sides, only consenting at the branch's end they strain toward, serves for frame to a sole face, the praiser's, in the centre, who with eyes sightless, so bend they back to light inside his brain, where visionary forms throng up, sings, minding not that palpitating arch of hands and arms, nor the quick drip of wine from the drenched leaves o'erhead, nor crowns cast off, violet and parsley crowns to trample on, sings, pausing as the patron ghosts approve devoutly their unconquerable hymn. But you must say a well to that. Say well, because you gaze. Am I fantastic, sweet? Gaze like my very life's stuff, marble, marbly even to the silence. Why, before I found the real flesh Phene, I inured myself to see throughout all nature varied stuff, for better nature's birth by means of art. With me each substance tended to one form of beauty, to the human archetype. On every side occurred suggestive germs of that. The tree, the flower, or take the fruit, some rosy shape continuing the peach, curved bee-wise o'er its bough, as rosy limbs depending, nestled in the leaves, and just from the cleft rose-peach the whole dryad sprang. But of the stuffs one can be master of, how I divined their capabilities! From the soft rinded, smoothening, facile chalk, that yields your outline to the air's embrace, half softened by a halo's pearly gloom, down to the crisp, imperious steel, so sure to cut its one confided thought clean out of all the world, but marble, 'neath my tools more pliable than jelly, as it were some clear primordial creature dug from depths in the earth's heart, where itself breeds itself, and whence all baser substance may be worked. Refine it off to air you may, condense it down to the diamond. Is not metal there, when o'er the sudden specks my chisel trips? Not flesh? As flake off flake I scale. Approach. Lay bare those bluish veins of blood asleep. Lurks flame in no strange windings, where, surprised by the swift implement sent home at once, flushes and glowings radiate and hover about its track? Phene, what? Why is this? That whitening cheek, those still dilating eyes. Ah, you will die, I knew that you would die.
Phene begins, on his having long remained silent.
Now the end's coming, to be sure. It must have ended some time. Tush! Why need I speak their foolish speech? I cannot bring to mind one half of it, besides. I do not care for old Natalia now, nor any of them. Oh, you, what are you? If I do not try to say the words Natalia made me learn, to please your friends, it is to keep myself where your voice lifted me, by letting it proceed. But can it? Even you, perhaps, cannot take up, now you have once let fall, the music's life, and me along with that. No, or you would. We'll stay, then, as we are, above the world. You creature with the eyes, if I could look for ever up to them, as now you let me, I believe all sin, all memory of wrong done or suffering borne, would drop down, low and lower, to the earth, whence all that's low comes, and there touch and stay, never to overtake the rest of me, all that, unspotted, reaches up to you, drawn by those eyes. What rises is myself, not so the shame and suffering, but they sink, are left, I rise above them. Keep me so, above the world. But you sink, for your eyes are altering, altered. Stay! I love you, love you. I could prevent it if I understood more of your words to me. Was it in the tone, or the words, your power? Or stay! I will repeat their speech, if that contents you. Only change no more, and I shall find it presently, far back here in the brain yourself filled up. Natalia threatened me that harm would follow unless I spoke their lesson to the end. But harm to me, I thought she meant, not you. Your words, Natalia said they were your friends and meant you well, because I doubted it, observing, what was very strange to see, on every face, so different in all else, the same smile girls like us are used to bear, but never men. Men cannot stoop so low. Yet your friends, speaking of you, use that smile, that hateful smirk of boundless self-conceit which seems to take possession of this world and make of God their tame confederate. Purveyor to their appetites, you know. But no, Natalia said they were your friends, and they assented while they smiled the more. And all came round me. That thin Englishman with light blank hair seemed leader of the rest. He held a paper. "What we want," said he, ending some explanation to his friends, "is something slow, involved, and mystical, to hold Jules long in doubt, yet take his taste and lure him on, so that at innermost where he seeks sweetness sole, he may find this, as in the apple's core, the noisome fly, for insects on the rind are seen at once, and brushed aside as soon, but this is found only when on the lips or loathing tongue." And so he read what I have got by heart. I'll speak it. "Do not die, love, I am yours." Stop! Is not that, or like that, part of words yourself began by speaking? Strange to lose what cost much pains to learn. Is this more right? I am a painter who cannot paint. In my life, a devil rather than saint. In my brain, as poor a creature too. No end to all I cannot do. Yet do one thing at least I can, love a man or hate a man, supremely. Thus my love began. Through the valley of love I went, in its lovingest spot to abide, and just on the verge where I pitched my tent, I found hate dwelling beside. Let the bridegroom ask what the painter meant of his bride, of the peerless bride. And further, I traversed hate's grove, in its hatefullest nook to dwell. But lo, where I flung myself prone, couched love, where the deepest shadow fell. The meaning, those black bride's eyes above, not the painter's lip should tell. "And here," said he, "Jules probably will ask, you have black eyes, love, you are, sure enough, my peerless bride, so do you tell, indeed. What needs some explanation, what means this?" And I am to go on, without a word. So I grew wiser in love and hate, from simple, that I was of late. For once when I loved I would enlace breast, eyelids, hands, feet, form, and face of her I loved in one embrace, as if by mere love I could love immensely. And when I hated, I would plunge my sword, and wipe with the first lunge my foe's whole life out, like a sponge, as if by mere hate I could hate intensely. But now I am wiser, know better the fashion, how passion seeks aid from its opposite passion, and if I see cause to love more or hate more that ever man loved ever hated before, and seek in the valley of love the spot, or the spot in hate's grove, where my soul may the sureliest reach, the essence, not less, of each, the hate of all hates or the love of all loves, in its valley or grove, I find them the very warders, each of the other's borders. I love most when love is disguised in hate, and when hate is surprised in love, then I hate most. Ask how love smiles through hate's iron casque, hate grins through love's rose-braided mask, and how, having hated thee, I sought long and painfully to wound thee, and not prick the skin, but pierce to the quick. Ask this, my Jules, and be answered straight by thy bride, how the painter Lutwidge can hate.
Jewel interposes.
Lutwidge, who else? But all of them, no doubt, hated me. They at Venice, presently their turn, however. You I shall not meet. If I dreamt, saying this would wake me. Keep what's here, this gold, we cannot meet again. Consider, and the money was but meant for 2 years' travel, which is over now. All chance, or hope, or care, or need of it. This, and what comes from selling these my casts, and books, and medals, except let them go together, so the produce keeps you safe, out of Natalia's clutches. If by chance, for all's chance here, I should survive the gang at Venice, root out all 15 of them, we might meet somewhere, since the world is wide.
From without is heard the voice of Pippa, singing.
Give her but a least excuse to love me. When, where, how can this arm establish her above me? If fortune fixed her as my lady there already to eternally reprove me. Hist, said Kate the Queen, but oh, cried the maiden, binding her tresses, 'tis only a page that carols unseen, crumbling your hounds their messes. Is she wronged to the rescue of her honour, my heart? Is she poor? What costs it to be styled a donor? Merely an earth's to cleave, a sea's to part, but that fortune should have thrust all this upon her. Nay, list, bade Kate the Queen, and still cried the maiden, binding her tresses, 'tis only a page that carols unseen, fitting your hawks their jesses.
Pippa passes. Jules resumes.
What name was that the little girl sang forth? Kate? The Cornaro, doubtless, who renounced the crown of Cyprus to be lady here at Asolo, where still the peasants keep her memory, and songs tell how many a page pined for the grace of one so far above his power of doing good to, as a queen. She never could be wronged, be poor, he sighed, for him to help her. Yes, a bitter thing to see our lady above all need of us. Yet so we look ere we will love. Not I, but the world looks so. If whoever loves must be, in some sort, god or worshipper, the blessing or the blessed one, queen or page, why should we always choose the page's part? Here is a woman with utter need of me. I find myself queen here, it seems. How strange! Look at the woman here with the new soul, like my own Psyche's, fresh upon her lips. Alit, the visionary butterfly, waiting my word to enter and make bright, or flutter off, and leave all blank as first. This body had no soul before, but slept, or stirred, was beauteous or ungainly, free from taint or foul with stain, as outward things fastened their image on its passiveness. Now it will wake, feel, live, or die again. Shall to produce form out of unshaped stuff be art, and further to evoke a soul from form be nothing? This new soul is mine. Now to kill Lutwyche, what would that do? Save a wretched dauber, men will hoot to death without me, from their laughter. Oh, to hear God's voice plain as I heard it first, before they broke in with that laughter. I heard them. Henceforth not God. To Ancona, Greece, some isle, I wanted silence only. There is clay everywhere. One may do whate'er one likes in art. The only thing is to make sure that one does like it, which takes pain to know. Scatter all this, my Phene, this mad dream. Who, what is Lutwyche? What Natalia's friends? What the whole world except our love? My own Phene! But I told you, did I not, ere night we travel for your land, some isle with the sea's silence on it? Stand aside, I do but break these paltry models up, to begin art afresh. Shall I meet Lutwyche, and save him from my statue's meeting him? Some unsuspected isle in the far seas. Like a god going through his world, there stands one mountain for a moment in the dusk. Whole brotherhoods of cedars on its brow, and you are ever by me, while I gaze, are in my arms as now, as now, as now. Some unsuspected isle in the far seas. Some unsuspected isle in far off seas.
Talk by the Way while Pippa is passing from Orkana to the turret. 2 or 3 of the Austrian police loitering with Blue Fox, an English vagabond, just in view of the turret.
So, that is your Pippa, the little girl who passed us singing? Well, your bishop's intendant's money shall be honestly earned. No, don't make me that sour face because I bring the bishop's name into the business. We know he can have nothing to do with such whores. We know that he is a saint, and all that a bishop should be, who is a great man besides. Oh, were but every worm a maggot, every fly a grig, every bough a Christmas faggot, every tune a jig. In fact, I have abjured all religions, but the last I inclined to was the Armenian. For I have travelled, do you see, and at Königsberg, Prussia improper, so styled because there's a sort of bleak hungry sun there, you might remark over a venerable house porch a certain Chaldee inscription, and brief as it is, a mere glance at it used absolutely to change the mood of every bearded passenger. In they turned, one and all, the young and lightsome, with no irreverent pause, the aged and decrepit, with sensible alacrity. 'Twas the grand rabbi's abode, in short. Struck with curiosity, I lost no time in learning Syriac. These are vowels, you dogs. Follow my stick's end in the mud. Celerent, Derai, Ferio. And one morning presented myself, spelling book in hand. A, B, C. I picked it out, letter by letter. And what was the purport of this miraculous posy? Some cherished legend of the past, you'll say? How Moses hocus-pocused Egypt's land with fly and locust? Or, how to Jonah sounded Harshish, get thee up and go to Tarshish? Or, how the angel, meeting Balaam, straight his ass returned to Salem? In no wise. Chakrabah, Bo, somebody or other, Isaac, receiver, purchaser, and exchanger of stolen goods. So talk to me of the religion of a bishop. I have renounced all bishops, save Bishop Beveridge. Mean to live so, and die, as some Greek dosage, dead and merry, hellward bound in Charon's wherry, with food for both worlds under and upper, lupine seed, and Hecate's supper, and never an obolus, though thanks to you, or this intendant through you, or this bishop through his intendant, I possess a burning pocketful of swansingers, to pay the Stygian ferry.
There is the girl, then. Go, and deserve them the moment you have pointed out to us Senor Luigi and his mother. I have been noticing a house yonder, this long while, not a shutter unclosed since morning.
Old Looker Gaddies that owns the silk mills here. He dozes by the hour, wakes up, sighs deeply, says he should like to be Prince Metternich, and then dozes again, after having bidden young Sebald, the foreigner, set his wife to play in draughts. Never molest such an household. They mean well.
Only, cannot you tell me something of this little Pippa I must have to do with? One could make something of that name. Pippa, that is, short for Philippa, rhyming to Panurge consults Hetrippa. Believest thou, King Agrippa? Something might be done with that name.
Put into rhyme that your head and a ripe muskmelon would not be dear at half a swansiger. Leave this fooling and look out. The afternoon's over, or nearly so.
Where in this passport of Senor Luigi does our principal instruct you to watch him so narrowly? There? What's there beside a simple signature? That English fool's busy watching.
Flourish all round. Put all possible obstacles in his way. Oblong dot at the end. Detain him till further advices reach you. Scratch at bottom. Send him back on pretence of some informality in the above. Ink spurt on right-hand side, which is the case here. Arrest him at once. Why and wherefore I don't concern myself, but my instructions amount to this. If Signor Luigi leaves home tonight for Vienna, well and good. The passport deposed with us for our visa is really for his own use. They have misinformed the office, and he means well. But let him stay over tonight. There has been the pretence we suspect. The accounts of his corresponding and holding intelligence with the Carbonari are correct. We arrest him at once. Tomorrow comes Venice, and presently Spielberg. Blue Fox makes the signal sure enough. There is he entering the turret with his mother, no doubt.
End of Act 2.